So don't get a fright, okay? So today we're diving into one of Ireland's most cherished pastimes. No, not your mom asking you if you know who died this month. We're diving into something even more culturally Irish. It's swearing, or cursing, or cussing. It actually sounds quite funny when Americans say cussing because it sounds like cursing, but like you can't pronounce your R's, so it sounds like you're a little kid saying it. To us, we're talking about a love affair with swearing that's as Irish as our history, and twice as colourful.
Drink! Feck! Arse! Girls!
So why do the Irish curse like sailors and with such flair? Well, buckle up because it's got a lot to do with our past. It's going to be a wild ride. Seatbelts, safety first. We Irish are renowned for our way with words, especially the naughty ones. I cannot tell you how much I've had to actively tone down my cursing since being on YouTube, just existing in this space. And I wouldn't even be considered a big cursor among my peers. But when I very rarely do, mostly in the name of dramatic emphasis, curse on this channel, I frequently get told off by a certain type of person who takes great offence to it.
I am highly offended by it.
Not talking to you, Ohio, Florida, and Vegas, who apparently curse the most out of all of America. And while I indeed acknowledge and in a sense prescribe to the hypothesis that instead of cursing you should try and use your extensive vocabulary, sometimes a curse word well placed is just a good thing.
Hell yeah.
And what you need to understand is cursing is as much a part of Irish culture as having a cup of tea and solving the latest apocalypse, or just stubbing your toe. A cup of tea pretty much solves everything in Ireland. And let's be honest, it feels good to curse. It feels Irish. They're not just insults, they're creative expressions, dripping with Irish wit. But why do we curse so much, and why do we make it an art form? Like all the fun stuff, it's got a lot to do with Irish history.
If they shut me up, who'll take my place?
Just out of interest, I asked a few of my Irish mates why they think we curse so much. And I'll be honest, they were shockingly self-aware. More than one person said they reckon it stems from the frustration of not being able to speak in our native tongue. The English language is not the national language of Ireland. Ireland's first language is actually Gaeilge. And actually when Britain left the European Union, there was a whole debate about, like, should we make English our first language? Because then we'd be the only first language English-speaking country in Europe. But we decided no, we'd still keep it as the Irish language, even though most Irish people cannot speak our native tongue, which is sad, really. But anyway, I was surprised because it turns out most of my pals are amateur anthropological psychologists. See, Ireland's got a long history of being colonised. Hundreds of years. Cheers, Empire.
The Empire may be gracious enough.
And one not so small part of that involved being punished for speaking the Irish language, often violently. So picture this, a kid in Kerry goes to school one day and he starts to speak the same language he's always spoken, but suddenly the teacher slaps a tally stick around his neck. And every time he speaks his own language, he gets another notch on the stick. End of the day, a beating for each one. Lovely. Speaking in the Irish language was branded backwards, uncivilized. English became the language of the courts, the schools, the government. Want to survive? Speak in the English tongue, so people were getting a bit frustrated. Just a tad smidgy bit.
She does have a talent for making awful things sound cute, doesn't she?
Is it any wonder we got inventive with the language we were forced to speak and started calling everything f***ing this and f***ing that? If you take away an artistic people's natural native tongue and expect them to fall in line, you're gonna get creative swearing. Sharp, indirect, and devastatingly effective. Feck is a national rebellion, and gobshite is a love letter to post-colonial rage.
How the feck are we back in the same feckin' place?
And on that note, let me just clarify, feck is not just a substitute for the F word. It's descriptive. Even the nuns use it, and I went to convent school, I would know.
Weirdo.
Feck is definitely less offensive. It's an all-purpose expletive. It can even mean to throw something away or to steal something. And while I'm clarifying, when we use the term bollocks, it's not spelt the English way, it's spelt the Irish way. It's spelt B-O-L-L-I-X, it refers to messing something up, or being a bit of a fool, or a rogue. Use it in a sentence, Diane. Me old bollocks, he bollocksed it right up. And as for the C word, while not uniquely Irish, it is used in a very special way in Ireland. Often, it's not taboo like it is in the rest of the world. It can be affectionate, or blunt, or just expressive. Actually all about tone.
It's not what you say, but how you say it.
Oh, and if you want to see more of me, do check out patreon.com/Diane Jennings and subscribe to the channel, or else next time you have to shake hands with somebody really important, you'll have unexplainable dirt under your fingernails. Where did it come from? It looks terrible. They're judging you for it. So subscribe or else. But why do we Irish lean into these words so hard? It's not just history, it's psychology. My mates were actually onto something with that frustration bit. Swearing's like a pressure valve for the Irish psyche. We're a people who've bottled a lot of things up and taken it all in good stride, with a laugh and a pint of Guinness. But all that bottling and centuries of oppression really does build up. From losing our language to having to fight for our identity. Dropping a feck or a gobshite lets us get it all out without having to throw a punch, though sometimes we do throw a punch. Oh, the fighting Irish. I do have the anger of an Irish woman. It's cathartic, like shouting into the void, but with better vocabulary. And psychologists, who apparently my mates could give a run for their money, have long said that using cursing language, swearing, actually boosts endorphins and reduces stress. It has been shown in highly stressful situations to make people feel like they're more in control, and who needs that more than the Irish people? For us, it's about trying to reclaim our power in a world that tried to shut us up. And then there's the social side. You sling a bollocks at your mate in the pub and it's like saying, hey, we're good pals. We're close. In Ireland, sometimes cursing is bonding. By insulting someone, it's like saying you're actually one of us. I've mentioned before how Irish people being too nice to you shows a formality, whereas if they're slagging you off, it's more like friendly. It's not about hurting your feelings, it's about trust. Showing you're close enough to get away with it and showing you're cool enough to accept it.
I'm sure you'd win it, Ted.
Well, thanks very much.
If all the other contestants were killed,
Studies have shown that swearing in groups builds camaraderie. That's a fun word. And we Irish have that down to an art. It's connection, pure and simple. And it's not just about letting off steam or bonding, it's about building identity. Every feck or gobshite is a tiny rebellion. It's a way of saying we're Irish and we'll make this language our own. It's why even your granny curses with flair. Feck this weather, nobody's taking life too seriously. We're not just cursing, we're claiming our voice, our humour and our spirit. Today we're fierce about preserving the Irish language. Street signs are bilingual, and if you call up any formal organisation like I did yesterday, you end up on twice as long because they speak in Irish and English. Thanks, revenue. Swearing though, that's how we made English ours in a unique way. We bent it into something that screams Ireland. And that's the heart of Irish swearing. We learned to hit hard with whatever language we were allowed to have at the time. Under British rules, saying too much could get you in trouble, so we learned to bend that language to our will. Swearing became our way of flipping the bird without getting in trouble and making everyone laugh in the pub at the same time. So Irish swearing is not about shock value, it's about rebellion and Irish identity, as well as creativity and venting. So next time you hear a feck or a gobshite and you think maybe I'll get offended, think twice. There's history behind it, and if you think our curses are bad, just wait till we get to the creative art of the insult. But that's a story for another video. It's an actual art form and where the Irish really excel. Did you know that some phrases that can seem like the height of innocence can actually be super insulting in Ireland? Stay tuned to the channel and I'll tell you why being called a dumb
Bunt. B-U-N-T.
is way less insulting than being called a clown. Shout out today to a couple of patrons.
Our first shout out goes to Brian Ediger, who celebrated a milestone birthday this month. He celebrated in style by setting up museum-quality dinosaur replicas. So cool! Having an adult birthday is always tricky, you never know quite what to do. But it seems like Brian got it just right by doing something he wanted to do. So glad you got to celebrate in style, Brian. Happy birthday, and I hope all your birthday wishes come true. Our second shout out comes from Ricky Carey, and it goes to his cousin Bernard. Bernard teaches at flight school at Purdue University. Ricky visited his great aunt and him in Indiana, and Ricky got to tour the flight school. This is a picture of Ricky and his mom standing next to one of the flight training planes, and that's Bernard in the corner. What a fun experience. Thank you so much, Ricky.
Thank you so much, guys. That's it for today. See you on the other side. Bye.